See, sometimes you just got to start down a path and you got to start dreaming about something.
Yes.
And the next thing, actually, you have different opportunities that show up, and you realize that the seed of the dream was proper. But then it was grown into something that was actually a little bit different.
Which, again, is God's guidance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to be able to say it out loud, write it down before you could ever start being creative on what it really looks like. Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.
Hey, honey.
Hi.
Welcome to the studio.
Thanks. Part 3. Goal setting.
Yeah.
Just crushed your video. You did. Loved it.
Thank you.
Pretty fun to be able to talk this through. And I'll tell you, it's neat to even have to take the time to put together a thing, to do a video. It is a good exercise because it forces you to really have to think about it versus just kind of generalize it.
I think everyone should actually, for their family. I know you did it about 3 years ago for your project. And now I did it. So we should do it at least every other year, it feels like. And really map out what the next 5 to 10 years look like for us. I think for families specifically, what I have found with our kids is we give them, I think, stability when we do it. They know there's goals and dreams, and they get to be a part of them, and they get to give input, and they see where they fit in on it, So it's not just like taking it day by day or month by month or year by year, but they feel excited for what the goals and dreams are coming. Like, you heard in our previous message how we were talking about our kids have homes in the neighborhood where we're building our next home. That brings our kids such stability. They're so excited about it.
Sure.
They know where they're going to go and what they're doing. And we're not forcing them to, but I mean, if I got a free lot in a neighborhood, I'd build a house in there considering you and I are giving them a lot.
Yeah. So, I was looking at my notes from when I went through this class, and there's a lot of things. One thing I had for 10 years from now is that we have established a minimum of 4 highly profitable kingdom advancing businesses that leverage each of our family members' strengths and giftings to their fullest.
And then I just went over 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, 4 or 5 right there. And I did say that we own Kingdom Ranch, but obviously you set these goals. Kingdom Ranch is supposed to be a family compound that we owned, where all of our kids could have lots on it. But quite frankly, I think this is what's cool is, this new development that we're going to build in will be better than anything we would have done probably at Kingdom Ranch because of the amenities and the trails and the mountainside, right?
Well, yes. And for us, one of the things we had developed Kingdom Ranch for was when we were living in Wisconsin and our kids weren't heavily involved in activities as much, it was, and so so then when we moved here and we started trying to figure out land for us to have kind of like a mini neighborhood of our own, we would have to go so far out of our community
really
and sports and church and all that kind of stuff that we started thinking, I don't know if our kids would even like that, let alone their kids.
Yeah.
We started thinking like, I don't know if that's the dream. The dream was to be in a community and kind of live close to it. So then we started reconfiguring it and thinking it through. And so this beautiful community has come up in an area that we love.
Yeah.
And so we kind of like, what do we think about this? And
it's interesting. It's like another thing that I think holds people back from setting goals, that there's almost a fear of, I don't know if that's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Right. And so maybe I don't want to make that a goal. But what I've learned is kind of the opposite. Sometimes you just have to set a goal based on what you think you want, and then, but then allow God to move in it. And we don't even consider something like what we're about to do with Valnova, that community now, but it just makes so much sense for everything that at this point now that we know we're going to want for the future with our family and grandkids and everything else.
And I think people need to realize how God is working for you in ways that you don't realize. So we had never even thought about this till we had our Florida home in a community. So to back up again,
That's true.
Greg came from a country living growing up.
Yeah.
So when we first got married, we kind of moved into like a 9-acre lot, kind of in the country a little bit in Illinois. Okay. Because we thought, let's do primarily country. It was very close to the little community. So it wasn't like we were so far out, but it felt good. Then we moved to Wisconsin and we were on a lake, and we recognized in there, you can't actually buy up a lot of homes on a beautiful lake. Like our family went. So then we started thinking about the compound place, right? And it would be, but in Wisconsin, it kind of made a little more sense because you could buy land pretty reasonable out there, all very close to each other. And then we had this opportunity. God kept, knowing our heart's desire, which was for our family to be together and to raise our families together, grandkids together, like our kids to have each other as support all the time. And so we bought our Florida home, and it was a beautiful community. We love our Florida home. In fact, we still have it. We're renting it out right now, and we're not sure what we want to do with it in the future, but it's in a beautiful gated community. We fell in love with the community. So many amenities, and we had never done neighborhood living before, you and I. So we got there and we were like, oh, this is actually pretty neat, but still thinking, let's get our own land. And then we moved to Idaho, and it dawned on us, land out here is very expensive, number one. And anything close to a community is getting eaten up very quickly by developers.
Yeah, we've had to just, there's that great book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It talks about just getting in the corridor.
Yep.
Sometimes you just got to get in the corridor. Like you have to start dreaming about it. Then you have to start exploring it. Then you have to start looking at what's available. And you have to keep taking steps. And then, but also just be willing to see what the gorilla is in the room. You remember when we saw that video where they actually have multiple people like bouncing balls to each other, and you're supposed to count how many times the blue ball is passed, and you watch it and you're paying attention. You're so focused on the blue ball being passed that you don't realize afterwards the whole exercise is like, let me rewind this. Did anybody notice the gorilla that walked through the middle of the room? And you're like, what?
There was a gorilla?
And then when they do it in slow motion, sure enough, a guy in a gorilla suit walked right through the middle of everybody. You didn't even notice it because you're so focused only on the blue ball. And one of the things I've learned is that, with setting goals, it's like, yeah, you got to be focused on where you're going, but you also have to be looking for the gorilla, because there might be something else good that comes out of it or something a little bit better. And so that's what we've been doing. I also have on here a personal devotion goal, which is pretty cool. And what I had written out was that I enjoy a creative, non-formulaic, fun relationship with my awesome God. We converse regularly, and I receive Holy Spirit encouragement and guidance daily, which I act on without hesitation. I experience the joy of knowing I'm fully in God's will daily and live within a peace that can't be found by anything of this world. I have no fear of any man or worldly thing, instead unwavering confidence in my mission of being a king of the king. I have zero doubt or unbelief of any promises of God, therefore I live in the perfect balance of freedom and adventure. Pretty cool. See, and this is
Greg actually did his project a little different from me. I did it like in podcast version. Greg did his live.
Yeah.
He kind of spoke out his dreams and goals in front of everybody in almost like a speech, I would say. I don't know. How would you explain that?
Yeah. I just went up and I just kind of described where we're at. And I wore my governor outfit, which is basically cowboy boots and jeans and a dress shirt and a sport coat, because one of my things was that I'm going to be a governor of Idaho. I don't know if that's really what will happen. I think I might, though, get into some kind of leadership role in this community that we're going to move in, right? Which would kind of be similar. Which, again, see, sometimes you just got to start down a path and you got to start dreaming about something.
Yes.
And the next thing, actually, you have different opportunities that show up, and you realize that the seed of the dream was proper, but then it was grown into something that was actually a little bit different. Which,
again, is God's guidance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to be able to say it out loud, write it down before you could ever start being creative on what it really looks like.
Yeah.
And, again, I love this because not only as we've gone through this, we've included our family in it. They got to hear your talk when you came home and you told them that. They'll see this video that I did, and they're a part of it.
It is cool. So it is fun to think about 10 years from now. Like, it's terrifying when you don't think about it, when you don't plan for it, when you think it's just going to be up to chance. I think your brain can go into all of the things that may not be make you happy or may not
work
be
out
what you expected or whatever. And so it's like, okay, well, let's just not think about it. But then you just end up randomly somewhere. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm just glad that we've been in environments that have challenged us to actually be even a different level of intentional about this. And if, for those of you out there that are listening, I would just challenge you to do the same. I don't care if you're a single person, because I know we have a lot of single people in our audience, which I love, by the way. I absolutely love it. I love hearing from we hear from people who, I'm not even dating anyone right now, but I love studying your podcast because it's not just about parenting, it's about life success, and it's about how to position yourself for strategic family success throughout whatever season you're in. Then I hear some people. I just had a person reach out recently that has 5 kids, runs their own business. She's actually in commercial real estate, and he was like, I don't even know how I came across your podcast, but I'm really glad I did. Sounds like we have a lot. And he was asking about our family blueprint that we give to people when they, and I actually reached out to him. I'm just like, hey, listen, we should connect. I'd love to actually, we have a lot in common. And if you have a desire for really having a healthy future with your family, man, that's our heart. That's our wheelhouse. So we should probably be pals. Right. And so
totally.
It's really
encourage
cool.
each other.
Yeah. It's really neat to have people like that, So for all of our audience out there, we love when you chime in.
Yes.
We love when you comment. We love when you reach out to us. We are busy people, but we're not too busy.
No.
We always make time for things that matter to us. And if there's one thing that you and I know, it's that it's taken us a long time to get here, but we do feel like we're in a level of convergence, in our life, where we have a good balance of succeeding in things, learning from failure in things, actually being, actually having to, how do I say this, endure some of the price of things, but also receiving the rewards of some of the stuff that we've done. There's just a lot, and then our heart, of course, our high value is to help other families do the same.
That's right.
Right, and so. Any parting thoughts on your goal setting thing? We got about 2 minutes left.
No, I think every parent should maybe take time to go over it and come up with their own goals from them and then their kids, and really record it somehow, whatever that looks like for you. Whether it's written down, whether it's a video, a voice, whatever. Yeah,
Jackie and I are thinking about, we do individual coaching, and we enjoy doing that with the right people. We have about a max of coaching clients right now. Not that we don't put people on a wait list, so if anybody has any interest in that, just know that there is availability. We can talk more about what that even looks like and how that works, and whether it would be a good fit. But have the guts to reach out to us, and we can have a conversation. But we're also thinking about doing some kind of like almost a group program where we can get a little more specific with some couples or even singles. And we can really help you. Like, instead of you just hearing us talk about some of these things, we can actually help you make these things applicable in your life.
Go in depth with them a little bit more.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have our Man Maker program for the guys out there that want to be part of a really good group of guys that want to, have a brotherhood and just be, in a position of consistent mentorship and fathering and brothering, if you'll call it, and also just a level of accountability. So we always have positive momentum in the right direction. And finally, I'll just say, for those of you that enjoy our podcast here, just make sure that you keep sharing it. Yeah. Make sure you keep promoting it. It helps. We love doing what we're doing, but we kind of need help from people who are fans of what we do to get the word out. And that, therefore, we can reach more and more people. Right.
That's good.
So, okay. So great job, honey. You did awesome. And I love the idea of us doing our next 10 years like we're planning out, and then however many decades after.
So excited.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening, and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.